Welcome to the next issue
podcast. Please enjoy
the show. Woo! Here we go.
Hello, everyone. Welcome to a very special episode of the Next Issue podcast. We are talking about one comic and one comic only. What?
That's
Normally
right.
we talk about a lot of comics or no
And that
comics
comic-
at all.
And that comic is
That comic book
Cable
is
number 1. No,
Supergirl, Women of Tomorrow, which I have here the special edition they released for Supergirl Day, aka Superman Day. I think they only changed it on this one because it was.
Oh, interesting. Yeah.
I will say, we'll get to all our points and everything that we got to say about this, and hopefully we can talk about the movie pretty soon because that's kind of why we're talking about the book. But I have a lot of versions of this.
Yeah.
Like,
oh wait, is that an alternate cover of the compact?
This is the one and only variant cover for a compact comic.
Wow, that's
from
interesting.
Books A Million. It's what's his name?
It's one of the variant covers.
It's Gary Frank.
Yeah, because that's in the back of it. Where the hell did you find a Books A Million?
There's one at the Grapevine Mill Mall.
Really? All right.
Yeah, I love Quick Tangent.
I do too.
love Gonna Break by Mills. They have a theater. They have Hot Topic. They have an FYE. Yeah, they have the outlets. You need a cheap washing machine. They have a Sears tucked away in the corner.
You need your ears pierced. They have a Claire's.
I don't know if they still do that at the mall. But maybe I don't know. The Irving Mall still has their Claire, so maybe they do.
I went to the Bishop down in Bishop Arts. They do a Bishop Bazaar every once a month, just where people sell their wares, their pop-up tents and stuff like that, a little pop-up market. And people were piercing. They were giving out tattoos. Not giving out. There was a tattoo shop, and they were like, and we'll pierce your ears if you need your ears pierced. And I'm just imagining walking through this market and like, oh, this is where I decided to get my ear pierced.
That's how they get you. You're like, you know what? I'm gonna finally do it. And it's just like one guy with a shaky hand and an ice cube and a straight pen. He's like, all right, here we go.
That's all you need.
2 holes pierced with the purchase of a tattoo.
Yeah.
Not necessarily holes in your ears.
Yeah, no, you get to pick.
Ears.
You get to pick. But for today's topic, I think we're all very excited. I think it's fair to say about the upcoming Supergirl film, which is releasing. Josh is twitching like, am I?
I'll talk about it.
Yeah.
Reading this book has tempered my excitement for the movie. So
before we get to our points, I did want to ask you guys: have you read this before? Is this a first time read, a revisit? Josh, we can start with you since you're nodding your head.
Yes, this was my first time reading this. I guess stumbled ass backwards into it because of course I read the same team's Windhorn.
Helen of Windhorn, yeah.
Helen of Windhorn, which I really liked. I've read other
which we'll talk about too, because that was a book that came after this.
Yeah, I came after it very clearly. You can see while Tom King was writing this, like, I had this other idea, But this was my first time reading this specific book, although I've heard nothing but accolades for it. It's deserved of every accolade it's ever gotten.
Oh, okay. Jeff, what about you? Had you read this before?
Here is my copy right here.
Ooh.
I read this 2 years. We read it for a book club when I think it was last year, maybe. At some point in time, maybe the year before that. I'd read it before that.
I missed that book club.
And then I think we read it. I'm pretty sure we read it for book club as well. So I read it initially, then we read it for book club, and then I just revisited it for this podcast because it had been a while since I'd read it. Sure. And I did want to revisit it before the movie came out, because there were parts where people were like, and this is, you see clips of this in the movie, you know what that leads to in the book, and I was like, I don't remember, like I don't know, I don't. So but I it was good to revisit.
Yeah, I gotta say, I went to I started reading this, rereading it, and then I think for some reason maybe I didn't finish it originally because I was buying. I have this on multiple formats spread across my house. I really wish people
Audiobook.
Yeah.
wait, if they have one, if they're really a vinyl,
Motion comic.
yeah, motion comic. But
This
I think
trope that just spins that he has to load and spin up.
yeah. So if you go back far enough on the channel, I'm sure you can find a review for the first issue of this. Yeah, I mean, I've done videos, so many Tom King videos, and then but going back to read this, it really felt like a new experience. I think for a couple of reasons. One, because I've read a lot more Tom King since then. Two, because I have now read another book with Bilquis Evely art. So it's really interesting to see that. And Mateos Lopez's colors. So that's, I think that's everybody. Well, I don't know who the letter is. I'll check in a second. But yeah,
And
this
three,
is
you've
really
seen True Grit.
yeah. It's a Clayton Cowles is that no. Well, it's funny. We'll get to your first point in a second, Jeff. I didn't remember the end. I remember the big beats of the story, but I think I didn't remember what happened at the end. I was like, oh, maybe I didn't finish this. Like, maybe I was holding off. Maybe because if we did do it at book club and I was planning on going, like maybe I was like, oh, maybe I'll just read it for that. So very interesting. And then when the movie was announced, I was like, well, I'll just wait for my reread to closer to the movie. So this all felt pretty fresh, pretty new to me. But since Jeff has kind of brought it up, let's talk about your first point, Jeff. Tell me how this is True Grit. And
Well,
which version of True Grit? The one with what's her name?
John
Haley,
Wayne or
yeah,
Haley
Haley Steinfeld.
Yeah, it's like Haley Joel Osment. That's the third True Grit that nobody knows about.
Cowboys. Yeah.
Yeah, it follows the, and I don't think Tom King is shy about this comparison, but it basically follows the True Grit storyline, where in True Grit and in this book, a young girl's father is killed and she seeks revenge for the killing, so she hires or stumbles across, in True Grit it's Rooster Cogburn, in this book it's Supergirl, and then it kind of is it's a vengeance storyline and what they learn about each other as they try to catch up with the perpetrator of the crime. And it's even to the point where like the young, like I've never seen the original True Grit with John Wayne, but in the Haley Steinfeld version, she is a very proper, well-spoken, like compared to everybody else around her in the Old West. She's like, I'm here for the
plucked her
murder of
character out of Little Women.
Yeah.
And dropped her in True Grit.
And it's the same, like Ruthye is the same thing here. She's very much a proper kind of, I am here to, it's just we can read the first couple of lines because that's right there. My father, whose name I will not record here, for I do not wish it learned, did not die a dignified or honorable death. Like it's that kind of staccato, language way of speaking in this kind of backward old Western town. So, but if you're going to, and I wouldn't say it's stealing, it's just homage. It's whatever, like artists borrow, and as long as you do a good job, and I think it's a good job, I do not mind.
Yeah. I do want to warn the audience. We're gonna go full spoilers on this book, which may also spoil some of the movie. I don't know. Like I can't help you with that. We haven't seen it, so I can't really tell you. But just keep that in mind.
We haven't seen it, but stay here for our review of the movie later on.
That's right.
Things that we have not seen.
In case you missed the last episode, we're gonna start reviewing things without watching them, because that's what the internet does now. And Josh is like, "What the fuck are you guys talking about?"
Can I jump in speaking about language though? Because that's
Yeah.
one of my points, if that's all right. I
Oh.
loved how Tom King is able throughout the course of this book to use the way that Ruthie speaks to show her experiences, right? Like you were saying, Jeff, at the beginning, she's very proper, almost like overly mannered in her writing and her speaking. And even that's a little bit of an odd conceit, because by, I think, like issue 2, you come to realize that those narrative bits are from the future, right? They're from her writing the book about her experiences with Supergirl. So there is this weird kind of time conflation where we're seeing it in the moment, in the future, and then in some instances even further in the future, right? But I noticed it was not until like the last issue that I realized there's this one sequence where she just keeps using the word ain't over and over and over again. And you realize her, the way that she speaks is becoming much more colloquial, much more kind of grounded. And then when you see her at the very end, it's like an aged woman, and she's just like the most wonderful, crabby old woman in the world, right? And so you kind of, in the way that she speaks and writes, you get this character development happening. And I don't know, I really love that, because it's not, I feel like it's not something you often see in comics, right? There is often such a balance of image and text. And this really relied on the text, but not in a way that takes away from what Evely is doing at all. They work in tandem. It's really great. So
yeah. And let me weave in my first point, because it's all connected, and I love the synergy of like the first, like looking at them on the notes, they feel like very different, but the framing device of this story is very interesting, which incorporates, we realize that Ruthie is right. We're reading her book about her adventures with Supergirl and this whole ordeal. Or to Jeff's point, we would be watching her script for the True Grit film that she's adapting, right? Which is really cool. But how reliable of a narrator is Ruthie when telling these adventures? Because first of all, she's telling us all from her point of view, and there are sequences where Kara goes off on her own, where Ruthie probably only knows about it if Kara told her about it. Otherwise, maybe she may be embellishing the story, or just the way that she remembers. Because if you were traveling around with a space god, which is kind of like what Supergirl would be if she just kind of showed up in a little backwoods planet, like, yeah, there would definitely be this kind of like misconception, or maybe a perception adjustment, because you have to, as an individual, you just have to be like, what the hell is happening? Like, like a Pegasus just showed up, or like, like,
right.
or like, yeah. So I really thought it was fun. And if you have read their follow-up work, Helen of Windhorn, you'll know that the framing device is this interview about a book that her grandfather wrote, or no, I guess that she wrote, about her adventures with her grandfather when she went to live with him. So I love that Tom King just kind of like, oh, I really like this approach, and obviously love working with both Evely and Lopez. So like, let's just go do it again somewhere else where we can own the work.
Pretty quickly too. I mean, it seemed to come right after this.
Yeah, I almost was wondering.
Tom King really does love that trope, because it's not really a main part of the book, but the strange adventures also juxtaposes the reality of what happened versus the unreliable narrator within the book that is within the book.
Yeah, and his Rorschach also, it's about a cartoonist, and like, so that it definitely is like something that is in his tool belt, right? Of like, oh, we're gonna make this a little meta. We're gonna have a little like these few layers to storytelling. But Josh, sorry, I cut you off.
No, it's fine. I 100% agree with you, Danny. I would say though that for me, at least, the two moments that kind of make it seem like Ruthie is a reliable narrator is one, when she goes to great pains when she's describing or the lack thereof, Supergirl fighting the brigand ship. And she's like, everything I'm about to tell you, I did not experience. I had to do extensive research to figure out what happened. So she's kind of laying her cards on the table there.
Yeah.
And then the other one, which I think is just a very like subtle but beautiful nod, is at the very end when Supergirl shows up with her old, she's like, oh, I read your book. I really liked it. You know? So she's not like saying like, oh, your book like presented there. She's like, no, it's good. so
I seem to remember.
Yeah, sorry.
So, well, when I was going over this, like, I didn't think, like, I didn't reread the whole thing. I flipped through most of it, but I did do the thing where I read most of the first issue and then I immediately flipped to the back. And at the end of the first issue, Ruthye talks about how Supergirl kills Crumb, and then you flip to the back and you find out, well, that's not the case at all. So I think there is some definite unreliable narration happening. But I think it's by design in some cases. I seem to remember, and I like I didn't reread the whole thing, but I seem, or maybe I made it up in my head, but it was one of those things where, like, because the book was written where Supergirl killed Crumb, it like got her into trouble with Clark for a little bit, but it also made everybody in the universe like, she's the one we're really scared about, because Superman is like the guy that's not going to like go off the deep end, but she could kill you because of this book. And I seem to remember that being a point somewhere along the way. Maybe not in this book, but something happened. Maybe I just made that up. I don't know if you guys remember anything like that or not.
No, there really is very little mention of anything Superman related, other than people know about him because of the sigil, and like he's probably been in their corner of space. But it is a good segue for me to bring. I'm going to jump into my third point, actually. This book shows us how Kara has been through so much, that so many different experiences, and that's what makes her such a distinct character from Superman. Not so, maybe at first she was just like, oh, we need a girl Superman, so editorials like whip something up. But over the years, and especially in this book, we spend the whole whole issue of this in Krypton, seeing its destruction. And on top of that, we know that, Ruthye mentions, like, there's these little narration boxes sometimes where it's like, there's a story for another day, or like, story I'm not telling you that Kara told me. Like, there's so much. So the reason that Kara is more cynical, and also maybe is working through a lot of, not maybe, she's definitely working through a lot of stuff, as opposed to where Superman had, more or less an idyllic upbringing in Kansas with people that loved him and a family, even though he never got to experience or become a full teenager and experience the gradual destruction of his planet, right? One of the lines, I know that it's in the trailers, but like, Krypton did not die in a day. The gods were not that kind. When I read that in here, I was like, oh, I completely understand. I'm not a screenwriter, but like, if I read that in the thing that I'm trying to adapt, I'm like, I'm keeping this one because it's a really good line.
Well,
in the way that Alcock delivers it in the trailer is really good, and the way that it's delivered in the comic. So like, I just love that juxtaposition of like, Supergirl and Superman have very similar powers, and they're kind of the same story, but they're not really. And it's those differences that makes them so much cooler. And I don't know, maybe Supergirl even stronger than Superman. It feels like at points where she's going through all these adventures, and like the way Ruthie's kind of like hyping her up, like she's kind of feared throughout the galaxy, almost sounds like. So
well, and I think that's even, I mean, very specifically shown in the issue where they end up on the planet designed to kill Superman.
Oh yeah.
And she's like, yeah, Clark survived here for 45 minutes, and she survives for like 10 hours.
Yeah.
And even at the end, she's like 45 minutes, it's like, kind of like throwing shade at Clark. But I hadn't really thought of it until you just brought this up, Danny, which I think is so great. Is
thank you.
They definitely seem to be setting up that parallel, or sorry, not parallel, that distinction in the two movies, right? Superman, the movie that just came out, is very much about Clark discovering that his image of his parents in Krypton is in a lot of ways built up in his brain, right? Because he never experienced it. And so at the end, it's about embracing his family on Earth. That's who made him him. Yep. I think what we're going to get in Supergirl, the movie, is she did experience the death of Krypton, you know, moment by moment by moment. And so even just both in this book and in the movie, the idea of she's 21, she's going to go to a red sun planet where her powers don't work to just get shit-faced is about dealing with that trauma. And that's something that Clark would never do, you know? So
yeah.
Do you think Kryptonian drinking ages is also 21? Like,
that's a good point. I don't know. Is that just based on her experience in you know, Earth. United States?
That was one of the I always thought that was funny and odd.
Yeah, we've never spent enough time in Krypton, I guess, to know a lot. I know there are books about life in Krypton that I would like to go back and revisit, but I don't know if they want to address that. But yeah, I think that's a very good point, Josh. Like they definitely are leaning into it's those differences that make them. It makes you interesting. Why would I want to? Well, I would probably want to go back and watch the same Superman film again, but for a broader audience, probably you don't want to make the same Superman movie twice. Just put Supergirl in there, right?
Yeah.
Especially when there's another Superman movie coming out next year. Like I said, I would probably still be seated at the theater, but that may not be for everyone.
This line of discussion does lead me is a great segue to my second point.
We are on a roll today.
We are killing it.
And I want to tell the audience, we had no planning for this other than a Word document with our points in it. So I'm glad it's working out. Go ahead, Jeff.
Well, you're talking about how Kara's reaction to Krypton's destruction, much like Tom King likes to destroy characters. He's a character assassin. No, this is so, you know, this is one of those things where this makes sense to me that Kara is, you know, she's full of PTSD because she was around for Krypton's destruction. But prior to this book, Supergirl was like a happy-go-lucky, like, you know, I'm just Clark's cousin, just hanging out, whatever. Until she dies and then comes back and whatever. She's got kind of a confusing, you know, history throughout DC. But I like that in this iteration, it's a much more interesting character for her because she did go through this very traumatic experience as opposed to Superman, who did grow up just on Earth, a happy baby. I also like the idea, and this is not something that I think has been, or maybe it has been explored, I just haven't read the right comics, but how Clark has like Josh said, all of his whole idea of Krypton is something that he's kind of imagined or that has been presented to him, and he did not get to experience it. It's in the same way, like he was very humanized very early on in his life, and it's like me. I have very little context for being Mexican because my parents grew up here and they were like, please speak English, we don't want you getting picked on by the white kids. So like when now that like not everything's cool, but now that I'm an adult, I'm like I have a hard time, like I can't even go to the taqueria without, like, I'm just like, I'm sorry, I don't speak that much Spanish or whatever. But like it's a weird, like, he has no tether. They had cash. Yeah. Tres tacos, por favor. I can get that far. But I think it's an interesting thing where Kara has this like strong tether to her culture. Clark has no tether to his culture other than what he's invented in his head. I like that they're kind of, there's that clip in the commercials for the trailers for the movies where he like greets her as she's popping out and he's like, oh, I don't speak any Krypton, I'm sorry. You know, it's like, I'm like, oh, I understand that feeling. I guess my question is, do you guys prefer happy Supergirl or tortured Supergirl?
I mean, I like a little bit of nuance in my character, so I would say just like everyone has good and bad days, you know, like a combination. I don't want her suffering every single chapter of her life, but It is interesting.
Well, because on the other side is Power Girl, who's basically the same character.
Yeah.
And has lost her whole reality, not just her planet, but she lost her whole reality. And so she's really bummed.
And for a while, she thought she was just a clone. Like, I do like how they retcon that to make her even worse. It's it's like when it's like if you found out you were a clone and then turned into water. That was for the Spidey folks in the audience. Yeah. But Josh, what about you? How do you prefer your Supergirl stories?
Yeah. Well, I mean, excuse me. I prefer, I think, Tom King's and Evely's Supergirl. And it's not because she's tortured, it's because she is the embodiment of kind of survivor's guilt doing good, right? There's that sequence where she and Ruthye are continuing to try and track down the bad guy, and they're in the wake of every planet the brigands go to and cause mass murder and devastation. And Ruthye makes the point that at every stop, Supergirl takes time to help the people there.
Yeah.
Right. Because she's just, and I would say, unlike, say, Bruce Wayne, she's not doing it as a way of, no shade to Bruce Wayne, but she's not doing it as a way to make up for her loss. She's doing it because she doesn't want them to suffer to the same extent that she did.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Which is kind of a beautiful sentiment. I mean, that is another form of heroism. And I like that they take the time to present that in this book. We don't get that often in superhero comics.
There's the sequence where she digs up the graves. Like there's one guy digging up graves. And then he even tells her this alien is like, also, I took a look at your DNA. If you want, I can show you where your daughter is. Man. Which was heartbreaking, but also like she knows that there is some kind of catharsis via closure of like, oh, now I know where my family is, and I can at least be certain that is the certainty of the knowing what actually happened to them. And then also like, please take a look. I did my best, but I can make mistakes, especially because she's going very fast. She's also feeding one of the people that's in like a hospital. She's also obviously she's getting information, but she's taking the time to spend the time there with feed them. But what I do love is that Kara never asked any of this of Ruthye because that's not her mission. Right? She never tells her like, you have to help as well. When they go to that blue purple people planet and you discover that felt like an episode of the Twilight Zone.
Yeah.
Where it's like, what happened to all the purple people?
It really did.
We drove them, the Blues drove them out of town, and then they had the pirates kill them. Like,
was that a metaphor for anything?
What's that?
Was that a metaphor for anything, do you think?
Wait. This book can mean stuff outside.
Yeah, right. It can mean more than one thing. What?
Well, we also find out of the book, because the book is, and again, spoilers for this book, I guess. Ruthye kind of thinks, for the most part, that Supergirl is kind of going on this adventure with her to get a cure for Krypto, because Krypto is poison.
Yeah.
And at the very end of the book, we find out Supergirl, she's like, I never needed that to be. She's like, I know who the best vet in the universe is. So I took Krypto to the vet and he's fine. I didn't have to do any of this. I was just doing it, And so you find that at the very end.
It was kind of like to distract her to embark on this mission with like, she kind of tricked Ruthye into going with her, which I'm glad that happened, because I could imagine if Clay had been able to join us. He's like, they killed a dog, point number one. I hate it.
Yeah. Well, although to that point, I kind of love Tom King and Evely being able to use the fact that we're seeing the entire story through Ruthie's eyes to say, okay, in literally 5 pages, we're going to introduce Comet. explain who Comet is, and then just leave it be. Because that is a fucked up history.
And then kill him off.
You get chapter 6 where we meet Comet, but there's not a lot of history of him. He's just like, you gotta go fast, right? You gotta outrun this like little.
Oh shit, that's right. He does show up earlier.
But to your point, Josh, Tom King and Evely distilled that really weird and messed up history of Comet being a man who fell in love with Kara, who then became the Pegasus, and now he's like her space horse.
I think he was the horse first. The horse fell in love with Kara and then got asked to be turned into a man.
Oh shit!
I think that's how it happened. I could be wrong.
No,
it's very Greek.
I think you're right. Hang on. All right, I'm gonna ruin my Google search history here. Hang on. Supergirl Comet origin.
Horse man.
Horse.
Please don't type in horse.
I do. This is one of my bonus questions. Do we think Lobo is basically the horse? Because he seems to be in the movie. He's there at the beginning. I think he's there in the bar when Ruthye goes to look for somebody to help her kill Crom, and then I think he shows up at the end at where the horse shows up to help rescue Supergirl.
I think that
not rescue, but even the odds.
Based on context of the trailer, Comet comes back when she's like all tied up in those like kryptonite chains, and she's about to get shot. With the kryptonite bullet, right? And that's kind of, it feels like that's when Lobo shows up to help out.
Yeah,
he's the horse,
and that's when Comet showed up. So yes, and Tom King has said that Lobo was originally part of this book somehow.
Really?
Yeah. He's talked about it, but then I think DC editorial had other plans for Lobo at the time, and they're like, probably maybe there's no need because we want this to be Supergirl centric, which I think is the right choice overall.
Yeah, it's fair.
The space pirates were Lobo-ish enough, I think.
They really were. Yeah, totally.
So yeah. Josh, did you find any Comet facts that are worth talking about?
Yeah, let's see. Hang on. I did. So
yeah, go ahead, Josh.
According to Wikipedia, Jeff is 100% correct. Comet was Supergirl's pet horse, and while in his human form as Bill Starr, her brief boyfriend, apparently Comet also had a brief romance with Lois Lane. Wow, that horse gets around.
Oh.
He was originally a centaur in ancient Greece. I
definitely would love to see the script for issue 6. That's where Kara's outrunning the magic orb with Comet, because I feel like that one was just like just go ahead and do whatever most beautiful art you can.
It's stunning. It was really good.
All right, Josh, before we get to talking fully about the art, can we you want to hit your second point?
Yeah. All right, I'll save my last point for later. In reading this, speaking of like kind of Tom King's body of work, I found this to be an interesting like comparison piece to Strange Adventures, because, and I looked it up, they came out nearly at the same time, which I was shocked by. I thought this came out and then Strange Adventures, but they both came out over 2020, 2021. And I say that because both books kind of deal with the individual impact of kind of mass violence, of trauma. And then you get these characters, in this one, it's Supergirl, in that one, it's Adam Strange, who are dealing with it in very different ways. And I could see reading them together, which would be a very depressing read, but I could see reading them together as a way of kind of Tom King exploring how do these big events that are beyond one person impact individuals, right? And there's not just always one result. The results are varied based on how they respond to them. So I don't know. I thought that was really intriguing.
No, I agree, and I think that the only thing I would add is that I feel like I think it's Alana, who's Adam's wife in Strange
Oh,
Adventures. I think she's as much of a main character as that's a story about their relationship as almost as much as it is in with Mr. Miracle, right? Maybe the
with him and Barda. Although I would, excellent point. I would add to that here, even though her name is in the title, Ruthie's really the main character of this story, right? And so she, speaking of tropes, maybe Tom King has, she is also that companion piece, right? Because ultimately the story comes down to how is each of them responding to this violence, right?
Yeah.
Ruthie has to admit that she's learned the lesson. The Supergirl wanted to teach her, but she had to reveal it in the moment that Supergirl was actually going to kind of go against the whole lesson,
And in the style of a Greek myth or something, this could be called Ruthie's Supergirl Women of Tomorrow, like Homer's Iliad, right? Like she's
right. Exactly.
So yeah, it's very cool to kind of take the mythology of this, but also Tom King, I feel like he inserts plenty of humor in this to kind of add a little bit of levity, especially at the beginning, like everything that they go through the bus, like with the like Ruthie's learning even from that. There's moments that are really charming, like when she teaches her how to wash her hands, because in her planet that's not something that they do. And then there's very sad moments, like every other chapter pretty much, where you learn about how there's been destruction, or like these planets just continue to be like horrible things happening in them, or horrible people happening, so I do wonder, in that purple blue planet, why would they not update the registry to just have blue on it? Like, why would they even leave the purple pages in in your hotel directory?
I assumed it was because they just don't care. Like, and if you get down to like the awful truth of racism, it's about not caring.
We're breaking it down here live. Fair enough.
I think again that transitions nicely into my final point, which is I like that we get to see a version of the DC cosmic universe that is not Green Lantern centric in this book.
Yes.
Like, so it's not, with a lot of the DC space books, you see a lot of like Thanagarians, like you see all the big hitters.
Yeah.
But you're never like, oh, where, occasionally in the Green Lantern book, you'll see them like fly to a weird planet occasionally here and there. But it's not something you see that often. Like, where are the Green Lanterns during the purple blue Civil War,
Yeah, right. Yeah, exactly.
But it is nice to see all these other these kind of just crazy planets where they're just visiting, and in some cases she gets recognized as Superman's cousin, or Supergirl does, but for the most part everybody's just kind of out there on their own making it work. No, I
think it's also very interesting, because I was gonna say, like, if you want a cool Cosmos story without a Green Lantern, try a Tom King's Omega Man. But then I'd realized that whole story is about Kyle Renner not having his ring. So, like, wait a minute, maybe it is a cool story though,
which then suggests, are they pulling from that for this upcoming Lantern show? Yeah, there's only one ring. So.
Yeah, maybe. Oh, that's interesting. If the Omega Men show up in in this Lantern show,
that would be pretty cool.
You have people Googling, going to their shop to buy those back issues. But yeah, I don't think, to Jeff's point, like, I'm not a big on the DC space side of things as much, outside of, like, I guess outside of Tom King's work, because like Strange Adventures and I guess I did read Ram V's New Gods, which is like, it starts out in space. So I think that might be interesting to set up, but you're right. If it's not, they always make a mention of a Green Lantern, and they didn't in this book, which I think it's part probably editorial decision, probably part like, oh yeah, we want to keep this as a stand we want to keep this as grounded as you can have a Supergirl story. She's truly the only person with like actual powers in this world, right? Everybody else just has they have skills. Like even Krem of the Yellow Hills, he's a skilled fighter. He doesn't have any superpowers though. Like the pirates, they're just space pirates.
Yeah.
One thing I did love was when Supergirl did not have her powers and she's on the bus and they stop in that planet that is going to be eaten by like this storm or whatever.
I love
and
that.
she's like, who's got a red?
Who's got a red?
And I'm like, what does that mean? And she's looking for, apparently red kryptonite is like an upper that is used in space. And she takes that and she knows how it's going to affect her, because although I think,
well, she's not sure.
Yeah, based on my thinking, I think it's supposed to affect you differently every time, but maybe that's just a writing choice. So she gets those.
He says that the red kryptonite for like other people, it's like just taking a hallucinogen, but for Kryptonians, it gives them the hallucinations are more like precognitive, so she can see into the future. Now, how does a Kryptonian figure that out? That I'd like to know. Are they just digging around their own rock? Like, how do you?
Yeah.
Well, I mean, and it
also kind of goes like super powered, right? Like supernova almost. Because
unless
that's all a hallucination.
She doesn't know she's going to do that, because there's a great moment where she's explaining to Ruthye how it works, and she's like, sometimes my hair just grows out, right? And then there's a pause, and she's like, is my hair moving? You know, like, because she's like, I don't know what's going to happen with this. So
yeah. So that was a very cool moment. So, all right, let me segue into my last point, and we'll save your last talking point and the bonus stuff for after that, Josh.
Okay.
If you remove all the words of this book, you still have such a compelling visual narrative.
Oh yeah.
This is definitely my first Bilquis Evely book. And just the amount of line work and detail, and just kind of going back through it, I feel like, especially when she's drawing Supergirl, I feel like she adds even more detail to all of it. And that would make sense just based on the fact that Ruthie's kind of telling the story focused on Supergirl.
Yeah.
But man, the art and of course Mateus Lopez's colors, like, it's all so beautiful, and the alien designs, and I mean, I could show you like one of the reasons I like this in singles is because the covers are all beautiful. So now you guys gush about the art.
Well, I was going to say, I mean, speaking of, like, this is, excuse me, this is the first compact book I regret reading and buying as a compact. Overall, I think the compact line is great because it's so inexpensive. It's a great way to just get into these things. But there were moments when I was reading, it could just be I'm getting older, my eyes are shit, where I was like really struggling to like look at some detail or read some text or something. And again, kudos to DC for putting this out in multiple formats so that you can kind of pick the one that you want. I will probably at some point have to go back and just buy like a larger hardcover edition of this to just really appreciate it. But that's only because of how utterly beautiful the art is in this. It is so great. And I had never seen Evely, again, doing things ass backwards. I read Helen of Windhorn first as those issues came out, and then discovered that the same team had done this Supergirl book because I'm a schmuck. And so, I kind of went into it that way, but man, the art is just stunning. It's so good.
Yeah. I think one of the things that they probably learned along making this process, if you read Helen of Windhorn, every issue of that starts with like a cover to the comic or the book that they were referring to. So it's like this epic fantasy, really cool splash page. And then you get, go into it. I think the thing I really like is also the way that she does hair.
Yeah.
There's so much detail in it, and that's something that I hate drawing hair. So so whenever I see somebody do it really well, like Arthur Adams or George Perez, and like Bilquis, like I'm like so jealous of how they render the hair, but just everything, the sun, the Kryptonian designs, like Kara seeing her mom die, and then we see Argo city in the floating around in space. Like there's so much to this. So I love it. Yeah, I agree. They need what we need is like an artist edition of this book.
God, that would be great. Although I wonder if a lot of it was done digitally. I could be wrong, but
yeah, I don't know how the artist works. Maybe that might be
I don't
interesting
either.
to check out.
I was just on their
digital, you
Instagram.
can print out any size. So
it looks like they do drawings.
I'm a follower. All right, I need to.
Yeah, you should. One of the things I love about following these creators right now, it's that because it's everywhere, and Bilquis, I believe, is a Brazilian artist.
Oh,
And
okay.
Mateus Lopez is also in Brazil, so like they have been all the promo stuff they've been doing for the movie. They're involved in that, right?
That's awesome. I love it.
Yeah,
that's just on graph paper.
Yeah, you
God
should definitely.
Damn, are you kidding me? Really? Is it like non-photo blue graph paper?
I guess so.
Yeah. I'm just on their Instagram. It's just on their Insta.
Yeah. So, but you know what? I haven't seen original art of this go on sale. So maybe designs and stuff she does on paper, and I don't know. That might be interesting to find out what DC needs to do, and I should crack open some of my collections because they do those director's cut of like books. I know this upcoming week we're getting work in progress copy of the book of the first issue. Those are the black and white oversized ones. Like they did one for Absolute Batman, I think.
Oh, really?
Where it's just like, and I think it's like the scans of the pages, or it's like an unfinished work print,
right?
And in black and white. But those are really cool if you just like if you're a process person, which I do love digging into the process.
Me too. Yeah.
We know Josh hates art. That's why he chooses to work in art history.
I definitely didn't curate an entire show about comics process. So
that's right. Yeah, that
Danny contributed to.
So we should talk about. Sorry, my ADHD brain just kicked in because you went to the Billy Ireland cartoon library.
I did.
That I would like to hear about.
Let me write it down so we don't forget.
We can.
A friend told me we should write stuff down, and I was like, that's pretty smart.
Pens and paper are amazing.
All right.
It was fantastic. Yeah, I'm happy to share about that.
All right. Well, share with us your last point, Josh, and then we'll wrap up talking about Supergirl, Woman of Tomorrow, and then we'll talk about your trip and maybe another art thing.
Yeah. So I was struck, and Jeff, I loved your point about looking at the opening of the book, right? Because this book does a thing that some of my favorite comics have done, which is there is a kind of parallelism between the first and the last page, right? Mm-hmm. And when you open the book, you get this beautiful scene, notably with the red sun in the background as it sets, setting the whole thing where Ruthie's father gets killed. When you turn to the last page, which again, full spoilers, takes place much later in time when Ruthye is an elderly woman and Supergirl shows up with Krypto, which I love, and basically brings Crumb out of the Phantom Zone. Yeah, where he's been banished, right? And you get this, so good. And so you get this sequence where they recreate the opening panels just in silhouette, but instead it is Ruthye hitting Crumb with her cane and then walking off in a different direction than Supergirl as Crumb lays there on the ground.
Yeah.
My brain went immediately to The Killing Joke, which does this same structural thing, right?
You're always thinking about it.
I know. It's comic nerds ancient Rome, right?
All roads lead back to The Killing Joke.
All roads lead back to The Killing Joke. Where you have that kind of like the parallelism between the opening and the last page. What I loved is how ambiguous both of those last pages are, right? Have you guys seen, I'm pretty sure it's Grant Morrison that has the theory about the last page of The Killing Joke being like, he reads it in a different way, which is there was one sound effect in The Killing Joke that he reads as Batman killing Joker.
Yeah.
Right? All right. And my brain went to that because there's no clarity in the last page of this book that Ruthye only hit him with her cane. Did she kill him?
You know, I did go back and read that. So I'm gonna show you guys. This is the page.
Yeah.
About, right. I went back and I looked at that a couple of times because I was reading this in my iPad as well. And I read it in my iPad so I could look into, like, find details and stuff. And I went back and forth. So to me, the way I'm reading this, at least, like, this is my Inception top at the end of the movie. Ruthye hits him, he falls down, and then his arm kind of goes back and forth like he's checking his head, but they leave him there, but he's not dead. So that's the way I interpreted it.
I think that she is like, that is her, like, she doesn't kill him, but she gets that last bit of little vengeance out by just like thwacking him, give him a good thwack, the slap at the end of the movie that, you know, you never got to have.
Yeah.
And then, but then he hits his head really bad on a rock and dies. So it's like,
see, now it's
manslaughter.
I'm inclined to agree with both of you because that's what I want, right?
Yeah.
But I looked at that last page multiple times, and if you hold it back up, Danny, you don't have to, but if you hold it back up, I want to point out in the third to last panel, you see his arm up.
Yeah.
Right? Yeah, you see it there. See his arm up. In the second to last panel, he seems like he's touching his head. The last panel, his arm's down. Right? So I would argue if you flip those last two panels with his body where he's laying prone and then you see the arm come up as he touches his head, it's clear in that moment that he's just been hit. Right? He's just kind of like recovering from the hit. But the fact that it goes from higher, lower to prone, right, makes me wonder, is he dead? Now, again, that, like Grant Morrison's arguing about one sound effect in the last page of The Killing Joke, that's probably an overreach on my part, and I admit that. But it is just open enough that it doesn't nicely close, you know. And
I mean, he was an old man. He could just die.
He was an old man, yeah.
Which, that was the thing that my stupid nerd brain was thinking about. I was like, how did he age in the Phantom Zone? Like, I thought you were not supposed to age in the Phantom. Like,
good point.
That was my other conflict where I was like, unless he had been going, I guess we don't know how much time he's spent in.
But she does say centuries. He was in there the first century, the second century.
Right. So, but like,
centuries.
was he in there the whole time, or like, did he have a trial and then take a long, like, the trial or whatever before he got into the Phantom Zone could have taken a long time, and then he got thrown in there, or I don't know. That's what my stupid brain was thinking about. Like, I thought you weren't supposed to age because, you know, in the Superman 2 movie, those guys come out right at the same age that they went in.
Well, it could. I mean, you know, it could be Kryptonians just don't age, because when Kara shows up at the end with elderly Ruthye, it's very clear Kara is not nearly as old as Ruthye is. You know?
This is good Kryptonian genes. Exactly. Also, I was thinking of like theory of relativity and time, like Kara flying back and forth, so like she doesn't age as much as.
That's a really good point. Yeah,
go watch Inception so you understand everything that I'm talking about. Well, I mean that brings up my last little bonus thing, like Kara's design, Supergirl's design at the end, the updated suit, the different hair, like first of all, you can tell she's older, but obviously like not much older.
Right.
but also it looks very cool. Like that
Yeah.
should be the suit she wears all the time.
I agree. It's really awesome.
Yeah, it's a very cool design. I would love some kind of other book with, even if Tom King doesn't write it, like just more Bilquis Evely drawing Supergirl. I think would be great. But I also feel like maybe she doesn't want to revisit the same character, because when you kind of nail it from the get go, you're like, we're good here. I could do something else. So, all right. Any more? I know Josh has one bonus point that's kind of movie related, so we'll save that till the end. Jeff, did you have any other things that you wanted to talk about Supergirl?
I think we kind of covered mine, because my bonus points were is Lobo the horse, and
which we said yes to.
we said yes to.
Lobo is a horse boy.
Oh yeah, and we kind of talked about Supergirl's like the dark versus the lighter version of Supergirl, because the TV show was very lighthearted compared to this, you know.
Yeah, because so quick fill on the timeline. So crisis happens, she dies, she doesn't come back until that Batman Superman series, right?
So so they have a Supergirl title in there, but it's like a weird alien that is not Kryptonian, that just takes the form of Supergirl.
Okay.
So it has nothing to do with actual Kara Zor-El or anything. But isn't it? Yeah.
But Batman she's been Superman back since then, since she came back in. What is it? Apocalypse Girl, or I don't remember. Where Darkseid wanted
the Apocalypse
to join her Furies or whatever, which is a great story. I mean, I think they made an animated movie of that Batman Superman. They made multiple.
They did,
from that run.
Which is Jeff Loeb, Michael Turner.
Classic. Yeah. That arc was Michael Turner. The Public Enemies arc, which I think they also did, it was Ed McGuinness.
The prior one.
Listen, we give Jeff Loeb a lot of shit. I love that Batman Superman run. I think I have all 87 issues of it in the annuals and everything. Like that was one thing that when I got into collecting books, I was like, I need to complete a long running series, and I would go to like any half price book that I could, and I would look for the ones that I was missing. There isn't anything, or maybe at least there is now. There wasn't anything at the time that was like really expensive because it was like a first appearance or anything like that. But I should go back and check now to see if things have changed in the past, 10 years or whatever. Okay. Yeah, I think I'm good. So Josh, let's bring up your last point, and then we'll talk a little bit more about that and our expectations for the film. And then we'll talk about some other stuff.
Yeah, no, that sounds good. I do have one very minor observation I just want to say first, which is I loved again, going back to I think how great Tom King is with writing for comics. I love the
this is the TikTok clip, by the way.
Yeah. I love in the chapter we get about her recounting the death of Krypton, right? How she keeps referring to the tree outside her window having red and blue leaves. And the thing I love about that is that you never see it because it's her memory, right? But it's very clear because for Supergirl, we don't have a good myth about the origin of her costume. That's it, right? If she has this indelible memory of these red and blue leaves outside her window, her costume is red and blue, because she is basically in the universe as a survivor to help people not suffer as much as she did.
Yeah.
So I don't know. I like that. Here's the thing, though, to make a total 180. I'm kind of worried about the movie now. I am an instant fan of this book. I think it's brilliant. I think it's told so poignantly. And after I read it, I went on to IMDb and I noticed how many of the characters in the movie are taken directly from this book. You've got Crumb, you've got Ruthye, you've got, they are very obviously doing this book. Although I found it odd that IMDb doesn't list Tom King as one of the writers, which I thought was kind of odd.
I think he was a consultant, which is different because Anna Noguera did the script, but they did have both King and Evely involved in like.
Shouldn't it still have as a writer like based on Supergirl, Woman of Tomorrow?
I don't know. I don't know how credits for movies work because I think with comics is different. I know for like novels, like they definitely, but they don't credit Stephen King as a writer, right? They just credit like based on work by. Sometimes they do, sometimes they don't. So yeah, I don't know. Maybe Tom King is not a member of the Writers Guild. Although he probably will be. He's doing TV. He's got to be a member of the Writers Guild. I'll ask him next time I see him. Josh.
Perfect. That'd be great. Please get an answer for us, Danny. So I don't know if you guys feel the same way. Please chime in. But I'm worried because so far all we've seen of Kara in her cameo in Superman and in the trailers for this movie is she's very young, but she's very cocky, right? She's very and so I don't want them to fuck this story up. It's the thing. I really don't. So anyway,
now that I go back and look at this, I think they're doing a very smart thing with the marketing, which is like they're kind of showing us like maybe the first 2 issues of the book.
Good point. Yeah.
So I think there's still gonna be which they have definitely gotten a lot out of it. So, to Jeff's point that Comet, maybe they're changing some stuff around that Comet maybe Lovo. But yeah, maybe they're kind of restructuring a little bit of the story. But I feel like the second and third act are going to be either very different or expand on the stuff that's already here.
Yeah.
We know there's some scenes that they shoot back in Krypton, which we know it's also from the book. So yeah, I feel like we've seen very little of the actual film, which is good. They should show us a lot.
Well, I think it's gonna be fine. I think it's going to be. I mean, just also from early reactions that I've heard of people that have seen it have been like, it's it's good. I mean, again, my first point is this is true grit. So you've got multiple movies to pull from to be like, why don't we just do what they did? And you can, as you're reading this, as you're reading the book, you can, knowing that it's going to be, that it's the basis for a movie. You can be like, well, you can cut this. Like if you play evil editor, you can slash this part out. This part is now a 5-minute story that we're going to tell, like instead of as you can see how this could get condensed into like a 2-hour, 20-minute film, pretty easily.
Jeff is already gearing up to ask for the release of the Gillespie cut.
Yeah, exactly.
Although ironically you'll fail because it'll still be a Snyder cut of that movie. So,
I'll take that. Listen, we're already getting Zack Snyder's Escape from New York, which Clay's not very happy about, but I'm super.
Nor I. Good God. Who's playing Snake?
We don't know yet. We don't know.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
Don't worry, we'll be talking about it. Whatever happens, whatever the case may be. And of course, we'll be talking about Supergirl, the film, as soon as we can. So before we move on to other topics, I do want to encourage everybody to leave us your thoughts on the book if you have read it. And if you haven't, there's plenty of options that you can pick from. You don't have to buy all of them like I did.
Including the digital. Because you did read it on your iPad.
That one I did borrow from my library. So if you can't, just to reread it, I got it from Hoopla. So that's another option. If you can't, take the weekend, go get a library card, and then borrow Supergirl, Woman of Tomorrow.
Absolutely.
You don't want to spend $10 on the DC Infinite app.
Or the compact.
Okay, you spend 10 DC on the compact version. Spend $10 on the compact version.
Yeah,
but your eyes are going to get all blurry.
If you can find it, I bet these are probably sold out.
Well, you say that, but I will pass this along because I just annoyed my daughter with it last night. Amazon right now has a buy 2 get 1 third free deal, and the first half of the DC compacts are on there.
Oh, okay.
So you could easily get. Yeah, well, it's like early, like pre-Prime day sale.
Pre-Prime will get you pregnant just as easily.
Optimus Prime days.
I have way too many responses to that, Jeff. So
you don't gotta tell me twice.
Well, speaking, since Josh brought up his family and his personal life, you want to tell us a little about your trip? Because you went down to do some cool Josh, every once in a while, gets to do some cool stuff just because he works in the arts and academia.
Yeah.
Which is one of the reasons we keep him around, to check our grammar.
Oh God, please.
You got to potentially meet one of my internet crushes, who worked for the cartoon Billy Ireland library.
Oh, they were amazing. They were so great. Who is it?
Caitlin McGurk.
Oh, she's amazing. Yeah, I didn't get to meet her directly because they were all kind of like running around in the background trying to make sure all the tech was working. But she's great. She's really great. I agree. Yeah, no. So I got back about a week ago from the this year's Comic Studies Society conference, which was in Columbus, Ohio, and it was actually at the Billy Ireland Cartoon Museum and Library. I had never been. That was kind of part of the reason I wanted to go, because I wasn't presenting this year. I was just there as kind of like a audience member, which is sort of odd for an academic conference. Like almost every person I ran into would be like, "Oh, well, when are you presenting?" Like, I'm not. I'm just here hanging out like a.
I'm just here for the comics, man. What are you talking about?
Yeah, baby. I heard there's going to be pizza. For the parties every night, conference parties.
But man, the Billy Ireland is amazing. I'm so glad I got to go. I unfortunately didn't get to check out the reading room, which is part of it. And I didn't really have any current research I was doing that would have prompted me. Like, they were encouraging us, make sure you schedule any research you want to do in the archives beforehand so they can schedule everyone. I didn't really have anything I was trying to look into, so I didn't.
You don't want to overlap nap time with everybody's research time.
Right. Well, I didn't want to take away from someone else's like potential time, in this archive. But
do you have to be a professional to get, like, could Danny and I be like, hey, we want to look at old Calvin and Hobbes?
First off, they have 2 walls in the permanent exhibit that's just Calvin and Hobbes.
Yes.
It's incredible. It's really cool. I'd never seen that many original, and I think it's because Watterson must have donated stuff to the Billy Ireland. I think he may be from Ohio. So anyway, that's a good question. I don't know. I know the reading room and the museum are both open to the public, but the reading room is mainly it's the library. Right. It's the place where you can just go in, just, walls and walls and walls of just books on comics. So those are both open to the public. That's a good question about the archives. I'm not sure.
Otherwise, Jeff and I are going to have to national treasure this.
Well, I did. It was funny. So while I was there,
you did run into Nicolas Cage? Oh my!
Yes, I did. But Face Off, Nicolas Cage. It was really awkward.
You ran into John Travolta.
It was actually John Travolta.
Yeah, I did.
Was he wearing his little new director's hat that he?
Yeah, exactly. But with Nicolas Cage's face, it was really weird. So I
got to steal the first Garfield. Yeah, that's what
I was sending all these photos. So the way the Billy Ireland Museum is laid out, the first 2/3 of it are just like a permanent exhibit. So the first third is just like comics history and process, which is incredible because they have like a Disney animator's original animation table there. They had it's not Mort Walker, it's I'm gonna God, I can see him. Anyway, famous classic adventure newspaper cartoonist. They had his like just ephemera from his studio just in one big display.
Prince
that was cool.
Wig.
Right. Well, and I joked that this is like, so I curated a show about comics process. Oh God, Danny, when was this? 2016?
I think so.
That sounds about right. Yeah. So good Lord, 10 years ago. And their permanent exhibit is like what I was trying to do times 1,000. Like it is so good.
Cool.
But the last third of it is just a specialized exhibit. And what they had there was this amazing exhibit. It's the only US spot for it, which was a comprehensive exhibit on Chris Ware. And it was phenomenal. Like just seeing his working process, but they also had a bunch of stuff. Like I showed you guys, there's like an automaton he made out of wood, all of his little like toys and models and shit that are kind of sometimes built into his books were there, like that he actually like made and assembled. It was incredible. Yeah, it was really, really good. So anyway, highly recommend get to the Billy Ireland.
Is it Columbus? Where is it?
Yeah, Columbus, Ohio, which was weirdly insanely hot. Like it was hotter. It felt hotter there than it felt here. And Columbus is kind of an odd town. I'll just say that. But there is an amazing there's an amazing comic store there. And I sent a photo to the guys because for fans of the show, if you remember, we had our Why Is There Not a Mark Waid Shelf episode.
Yeah.
I found the Mark Waid shelf. They actually had a shelf of just Mark Waid stuff. So I took a photo.
Well, there you have it. Did you send to Mark Waid? That's what we really need to know.
Yeah, I know, right? I didn't.
So,
that is on the bucket list to go to that museum. I don't.
Yeah.
I mean, I'd have to figure out more things to do in Ohio. Like,
well, isn't there the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame? Is that not over there too?
I think is that in Columbus or Cleveland?
I think that's Columbus.
I think it's in Cleveland. Because Cleveland,
look,
rocks,
you
right?
can go check out the Drew Carey House.
That's also in Cleveland. I think.
Oh, are those things far? I don't know. I live in Texas, so
They are not close. And actually,
Okay.
my wife was making fun of me because I booked this entire trip months ago. And in my brain replaced Columbus with Cleveland. So I kept telling my family I'm going to Cleveland for this conference. And then literally the night before I leave, I bring up all the information just to double check stuff. And I almost have a panic attack because I realize, oh, fuck, it's in Columbus, Ohio. And then I go and look at my plane tickets, worried that I'd booked them for Cleveland. Thank God I hadn't. I'd booked them for Columbus. I was okay. So, Rock and Roll Hall of Fame is in Cleveland.
I mean, it's 2 hours of a drive.
It's only 2 hours? Because it's like
Cleveland, from Cleveland to Columbus, I mean.
Okay. Because it felt like it was like Ohio's kind of along the bottom of one of the Great Lakes. And Cleveland's on like the west side of the Great Lake. And Columbus is like further south. So it's not even near a Great Lake.
No, but for anybody outside of Texas, it's only 2 hours. Sounds crazy.
Yeah,
that's true.
Yeah, 2 hours.
It could take 2 hours to go to. It could take 2 hours to go to Fort Worth in the right circumstances.
Yeah,
so true. Yeah,
you can stop at Akron. You can stop at Worcester. If you want to take the scenic route, you can stop at Newark, Ohio, which is not the same as the other Newark. So there you go. You can visit. Let's see, the Columbus Zoo and Aquarium. You can check out the Overland College, the Ohio State Reformatory, if you're into that.
Oh, there you go.
The Franklin Park Conservatory and Botanical Gardens. The Snow Trail. Listen, am I being sold on a vacation to Ohio?
But look, I'm just saying, if you go to Cleveland, you can track down the spots they used to film Superman, the movie.
That's true.
Because that was filmed partly in Cleveland, right? Because that's where
Cleveland is where the Hall of Justice building is.
Right. And I feel like that indoor mall, that arcade, is in Cleveland as well.
Oh yeah.
So
fun.
Only 2 hours away from Columbus.
Yeah.
That's
make a day of it. I mean, for us Texans, that's like a weekend, that's like no harm, no foul.
There are people that commute 2 hours back and forth sometimes here. So
yeah,
exactly.
Cool. we do have one last bit of business that we might as well touch on here since we have Josh to discuss. So let me pull it up. So this is the John Romita Jr. Amazing Spider-Man cover for Spider-Man 1000, which is colored by Paulo Rivera or painted by Paulo Rivera. I think that's also why it looks the way that it does, because it is painted and not just like regular color. Let me read here from this article and then we'll discuss what's happening and why people need to chill the fuck out.
Jeff.
Nope, I'm on it. I'm on the
Marvel Comics pulls the Amazing Spider-Man 1000 painted cover by John Romita Jr. and Paulo Rivera. Will the internet shrug it off? This thumbnail. This was one of the planned covers for Amazing Spider-Man 1000, intended to show Spider-Man from a pedestrian's perspective, looking up, seeing him, which
He's teabagging me?
Not yet. He's about to, though. Being pulled by his webbing at a high speed. So this, I should have picked a different website to read from than Bleeding Cool. Richard Johnston's compared to Tom King, the writing is very different. That is not exactly how it came across the internet. Instead, it was widely mocked for showing Spider-Man shrugging. Oh, now that makes sense. The pun up there. You know what? I take it back, Rich. Good job. As if it were 1,000 issues. So yeah, it's been pulled. There's no like editorial reason that's been actually given other than they won't be able to order. The retailers can't order this. John Romita Jr. is also stepping away from a Spider-Man after issue 1000 to work on other stuff, including doing some stuff with Mark Millar. And instead, Marvel has now put up a new cover by Pepe Larraz, which you can see in League of Comic Geeks. And look, I
haven't seen the new cover yet.
It's kind of night and day, and I do love Pepe Larraz's work. What I don't think is cool is the internet being kind of shitheads to John Romita Jr.
Yeah, I get that.
Sometimes I think we talk about like how I've talked about how I much prefer his work from the mid to late 2000s to his current work.
Yeah.
But that
he rocked in the 90s.
Yeah. So
he's great in the 90s.
That's just kind of the evolution. We make fun of Frank Miller's new covers every once in a while too, because like artists change and evolve, and sometimes people don't like that. I don't know that you should be mocking a person just trying to earn a living. But also, on the other hand, like, is Marvel listening to the fans, or were they just like, this is not going to sell, we might as well get rid of it? So I don't know. I want to hear from you. So Jeff, you brought it up, so you probably have a little bit more insight.
I don't think you should bully artists, but I do think you have the right to critique them. Like, don't go into it being like, shit for brains, blah, 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 blah. Like, that is not constructive at all. That's not constructive to anybody.
Save that for your TikTok, Jeff. Jeez.
but John Romita's been around. We know John Romita has better stuff than that. Like, we literally just said back in the 90s. I love his work on Iron Man. I love his work with Straczynski on that Spider-Man run. Daredevil, his Daredevil stuff is great. It's like he's got chops, And if you pull up that Spider-Man cover, his Spider-Man cover, like it's the painterly stuff. It's fine. But I know there's better stuff out there. Also, it's just an ugly. Like, if you just look at the design, just take even like if you put something else, like, it's just an ugly cover. Like the design of the logo where it's placed, and then I think the Spider-Man 1000 placement. It doesn't work well at all as a cover. So I think you have every right. You can go in and say, John, you've done better work. Why would this be the cover that you turn in for Spider-Man 1000? And then more accurately, your ire should be directed towards Marvel for choosing that to be their one for not. Marvel should have known better, but just being like, no, it's got to be something. This is your Spider-Man 1000. If you think about like all the iconic covers that have been out there, like just that you think of when you think of an iconic comic book cover. You want Spider-Man 1000 to try to push for that, and that cover does not come anywhere close to that. Like it's
Sure.
So yeah. Bullying does work. Otherwise, they're not going to get the hint. Like constructive bullying, bring it back. I am here for it.
Clip that, Danny.
Well, and here, let me, not to play devil's advocate or whatever, but let me pull up. This is fucking internet. I hate the internet.
Don't believe the internet, Danny. It's trying its hardest.
Listen, you internet. You better work. This is I think, is this the main cover? No, that's Todd Knox. I was trying to look for the main cover for the Amazing Spider-Man 900, which I think it's also Romita's work. I think I found it. Hold on. It's just like the worst quality of it, but it's a better composition than, because I do agree with Jeff. God damn it. I do agree with Jeff that the composition of it all is not. Sorry, I'm trying to do like 10 things here at the same time. We need a producer in the back. This is the 900 cover.
Yeah, that's
like the production value of this is a lot. I think it's a lot better. The logo is clear. The 900 of it all, 60 years. And then you have it. Obviously, this is tied into the story that they were doing about the Sinister Seven at the time or whatever. I haven't read this because I haven't read Spider-Man in a long time. But it's a different vibe, right? Mm-hmm. So yeah, I think there was a lot going against that cover.
And think of like on the other side, DC's had like Actions Hit 1000 comics. That's a Jim Lee cover. I think Detective was also a Jim Lee cover for their 1000. But they are also like, I don't know, they feel more that John Romita 1000 does not feel like an iconic cover. It feels like
I agree. I mean, I agree with both of your critiques of that 1000 composition. I get where Marvel's coming from, right? Which is we have this landmark moment. Definitely we're gonna want the guy who is the son of the guy who was essential in Spider-Man comics after Ditko left to do that, which is something DC can't do, right? And so I get why they wanted John Romita Jr. to do the main cover for this 1000, just like they did for 900 and so on. I'm kind of with Danny on this. I feel like bullying it. I say this as someone who constantly bullies Rod Liefeld and Frank Miller's current covers, but like I'm disappointed here, not in John Romita Jr., but in Marvel for pulling it. Right? Because I'm kind of like, Marvel should have just stuck to their guns and been like, all right, well, we're still going to publish it. Like there's no point in like scrambling to to completely fuck up the print run and get, a completely different cover to fill this spot. Like, let's just go with it. And if it doesn't sell, it doesn't sell, what have you. Like, so I don't know, like this conversation started rightly, I think, with Jeff. Like Marvel seems to be listening to fan input now, which I agree with is something they definitely need to do more of. But I kind of wish they had just stuck to their guns on this one.
Yeah.
So,
and to compare it to another thing that I was talking about recently with some people, Jim Lee recently shared his pencils for those absolute covers that he did for Batman, Superman, and Wonder Woman for, I think it was maybe Free Comic Book Day. It was like a special edition of the first volume. And this is what he shared his pencils.
Damn.
And then people in the comments were talking about like why DC allowed the inker and the color to ruin the cover by coloring it and painting it. So like, first of all, like, shut up. You don't know, like Scott Williams and Alex Sinclair, who do the inking and the coloring, like they've been working with Jim Lee for decades at this point now. So like, if you ever liked any Jim Lee stuff, it's in big part because of those two. But also, as much as I love this illustration, this is not a complete cover, right? This doesn't this well, it might get me to buy the book, but it might not get everybody else to buy the book because that's not what the covers are. But they do look great. I can see why people, like, yeah, sure, I would love to have this inside the book. Do you have one of these, Josh?
No, I was just going to show, like, to make a point though, like to your point, and I don't want anyone to lose a job, but we're at the point where you don't really need inkers anymore.
No.
Right? Like this is a special sketch cover for the new edition of Pathfinder that came out, right? From the artist Wayne Reynolds. And the whole reason inkers exist is because they would take pencil pages that would not be photographable, to make up a word, and by inking them, you're converting them to something that could be printable.
Sure.
That is no longer necessary, right? So I guess part of it is why do we still have inkers? You don't, I mean, in particular with so many artists working digitally, you don't really need inkers anymore.
Well, if you look at a lot of comics, like if you compare the credits from comics in the 80s and 90s to today, a lot of them are just like art by one person because they are doing it mostly digitally now. Whereas opposed to, it's weird to see, because as I do all the comic things weekly, it is weird to see this one is drawn by and inked by. It's super rare to see that these days.
Right.
But I don't think that they didn't have to cancel John Romita's cover. Like, I don't know if they needed, I mean, they could have just said, look, this is now a B cover. This is, they can print covers in, like, they can go forever. And the people that are like, why would you, like, DC can release those Jim Lee drawings as covers, as, variants at any point in time that they will. And they probably will, like it's super easy to take these things and just be like, you want this? This is your thing. But back to, like, for the Spider-Man 1000, put your best foot forward. And I don't think that was anybody's best foot.
I agree. They should, it should be representative, I think, of both the history. A cover should be representative of the history, but also what you're trying to portray with that issue, right? Sometimes it's about the story that's inside. In this case, it's more about the 1000 of it all. I think it was Spider-Man 600. That's like, it's got the names. It's like the city. It's on its side, but it's like all the names of, like, I don't know if it was people that have worked on it or different store. I think it was people that worked on Spider-Man.
I think so. I can see it in my head.
Yeah.
So, like, those are the kind of cool things. That's what we're talking about more. Like, that I feel like Marvel didn't put enough effort into that part of it. And a lot of it is probably, I'm not saying they're using AI, but they're definitely cutting back on the amount of people that are working on those type of things, like the designers and stuff. If you look at the X-Men line, that's looked pretty similar. They haven't taken any bold swings at redesigning the X-Men line recently, as far as like the logos and all that. Like, when the age of Krakoa happened, Tom Miller did a fantastic job with everything. Like, those collections look incredible in big part to Tom Miller's work and his designs and his logos and all that. But Marvel, since then, they took a step back and they're like, we're not doing that cool stuff anymore. We're just we'll go back to the old classic X-Men, which is a great logo too. Like, but does it reflect the times that you're printing in and the stories within your books? Tom Brevoort would probably say yes, but I would disagree.
It's the fact that we want Marvel to listen more to the feedback from their audience.
Yeah,
I feel like they're listening to the wrong feedback. Right? They're doing it poorly. And to the Jim Lee thing, which I love your point, Danny, about this isn't a complete cover. Yes, but we are in a time where covers don't even need titles and mastheads anymore, right? This is the cover I got for the most recent I think Transformers.
I think that's G.I. Joe.
Is it?
You do need a masthead. So you do you do need the number and masthead.
Not wrong.
Because I do the same thing where I'm like, when I
the
bag and
everyday
board and
person, the everyday person needs the trade dress.
Yeah.
I knew it was G.I. Joe because I also saw it at the shop. Also, if you saw, I went to Jeff's shop this week because I was in that part of town on Wednesday, so that was kind of fun. So yeah. Well, I think this has been great.
I will say, if you go back and look at, go back and look at the J. Scott Campbell covers during the Straczynski run for Spider-Man.
Oh yeah.
And every single one of those, I would argue, I would say like 90% of those would make a better Spider-Man 1000 cover than what. There's that one where he's got Mary Jane and they're swinging across the city.
Yeah.
That is, I think, really famous. There's like, he was doing banger after banger on those covers. J. Scott Campbell was. And again, I'm just like, any one of those, pick any random one of those and they would be better than what those.
But now his style has evolved to just be like the posters, because he's just doing his exclusive variants. So he doesn't have to do those big he doesn't have to do covers that reflect the interior story anymore, because he's just working on exclusive stuff. And there's still a big market for that. There's a reason that J. Scott Campbell has his own like market shop and all that. So there's definitely, I'm sure if John Romita went and did his own thing like that, and he might after this, whatever next project that he's going on, he would still get a lot of people that enjoy his art and like his art. Like a lot of people still get those Frank Miller covers. I'm 50-50 on those. Sometimes I'm like, oh, this still looks cool, and this one, like, well, maybe this one wasn't the best design. So
it's not Frank's best work.
But it is all very subjective up until a point. But I'm glad that we do agree that Marvel needs to put a little more effort into their actual designs of things. Like we want things. If you're getting a milestone, if you're relaunching a world or a universe, whatever, make a little extra effort. You're
a visual medium.
Yeah,
put some effort into it.
Any last? Well, actually, here before to close out, if you guys still, I guess we still have a little bit of time. Did you guys watch that Spider-Man trailer that came out this week?
I did.
I saw it on mute on Instagram, so not the best way.
The best way to watch things.
Yeah.
We'll end with that.
Okay.
I mean, I saw it on my Apple smartwatch while doing laundry.
The way that it was intended.
Life we all dream of. Watching movie trailers on a watch.
Oh, I need to go get my PSP. All right, let's see. We're gonna watch that. We'll talk a little bit about it, and then we'll get out of here. Let you guys enjoy the rest of your weekend. This one works. Yeah. And let me know if you can hear it. You should be able to, though.
What is happening to me? Did you miss me, Spidey? I'm losing my mind.
Venom confirmed.
I gotta fix whatever this is right now.
Final semester MIT.
Dad, who do you think is actually watching these?
Maybe someone.
Okay, well, bye, someone.
Stop it.
What the?
Dr. Banter, you found a way to suppress mutating DNA, right?
If you see me with this stuff, run.
So could you get rid of the bad aspects but keep the good?
How would you decide what parts of nature are good or bad?
Well, sorry about that.
You're not one of my students, are you?
It appears we're faced with a threat we can't control. One we can't even see.
The Tinkerer.
You're the only one who's immune to it. You're the only one who can sense it.
What do you think they're looking for?
Oh, see, you stumbled across my board. I'm not one of those weirdos, I swear.
He's a little weird. I'm MJ.
You two don't know each other?
Yo, Spider-Man, you okay? Did you get rid of that monster inside you?
Think I might go see how MJ's doing.
You're not gonna get away with this.
But he might.
I didn't know you could get that big.
Hey!
You're doing things, you just have to trust me.
Fine.
This whole thing can get really scary.
Who the hell is that?
Who the hell are you?
Frank, please. I don't have anywhere else to go. By the people who love you, just gonna let him go himself? I love you because you're you.
If you're gonna do something, you better do it now.
I like that MJ bullies other superheroes in these movies.
I miss you, mate. Huh. All right, just give me a sec. Give me a sec. I'm not in high school anymore. Oh. Did you stretch? You a big stretcher? It's so good for you. You ready?
It's good.
Oh,
Yeah.
I'm very excited about this.
Do we know
on
who
Prime?
I
did see on Prime you can register for early screening tickets.
Oh,
Yeah, kind of like for Superman.
Yeah.
Do we know
Thanks, Jeff Bezos.
who's playing the big bad in this? Like, who's the cowled figure?
So
Sadie Sink.
yeah, so the idea is that that's Sadie Sink and that she's Jean Grey, but I feel like that's not all of it. There's definitely
I think she's
Tremere
battling
Feldman's
crime.
character. We don't know exactly who he's playing either. Yeah, there's no clear bad guy here. I think the bad guy is the mutation that's happening to Peter. I think.
Sounds right.
It is super cool to finally see the Hulk and Spider-Man on the screen together.
Yeah.
Like that gives me the same kind of vibes and chills that when we first saw Captain America and Iron Man on the screen together, because you, as a long-time comic book fan, you're like, I'm never going to see those two on the big screen together.
Right.
And so
they never interacted in this fashion, right? Because the Hulk met Peter. Smart Hulk met Peter at the funeral.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
he's never seen like Savage Hulk. And
Right.
then I
Yeah.
think Zendaya.
and Smart Hulk wouldn't have remembered beating Peter
Yeah.
after the last movie anyway.
I think Zendaya or one of the actors mentioned that there's a Gray Hulk in the movie too. So like, how do we get to that Gray Hulk?
Interesting.
Yeah, it's this movie looks insane. I love that the new move that he has, that he spins the web and then he captures everybody in the hand.
Yeah.
Um,
I all right. Do we still think, because the hand's in it, are we getting Daredevil? I think we are.
I feel like we kind of have. You don't bring in the
have to,
hand
right?
without Daredevil
Yeah.
or Electro or somebody. If this is how they bring Electro back, I mean,
I don't know.
Like-
I feel like we got her in, when they brought back, what's her name, in Deadpool.
oh, okay, yeah. No, maybe. But what I do think is that there's a reason that Peter's in prison, and maybe he's trying to break out Daredevil to get him to help with something. Even if he goes back to jail before season 3, like, just a quick day pass for so yeah, I'm very excited about this. So all right, do you guys have any last thing? Yeah, go ahead.
I am going to need, after this movie comes out, I'm going to need one of those YouTube MCU people to give me a new structured timeline of where everything falls within the MCU, because it seems like we were already ahead of schedule. Like at one point our lives were concurrent with the Marvel universe. But then there was the 5-year jump in between in Infinity War or Endgame. And then I think there was another maybe time jump or something like that. And then this takes place 3 years. They've been in at MIT for 3 years now. They say in the thing. I need to know where we are. I don't need to know, but I would like to know where we are.
So Spider-Man No Way Home came out in 2021, and the May Parker's Tombstone said 2024. So I think it's 4 years since the events of that movie for this one. So it should be 2028 in Brand New Day.
I don't like them being in the future.
Well, I want to know what's gonna happen. I do love when the pigeon gets stuck to him.
Yeah.
Because he can't control. Do you guys think we'll see like a 6-arm Peter?
I'm wondering if that's gonna happen.
Like,
Maybe like a dream sequence.
Weird.
I'd be like that would be cool for a dream. Like I don't know if
Like in
they'd
the
do it, but like a dream sequence kind of thing.
Yeah.
maybe.
In the cartoon, it was like really cool, but that was an animated cartoon. I feel like there's something kind of really uncanny about multiple arms. But I mean, they made it
Well,
work.
I mean,
What did Gorgo look like in
Yeah, Goro looked great because he was a puppet, though. So
well, I was gonna say, I feel like we said the same thing always about Reed Richards' stretchiness, and they pulled it off in both
pulled
versions,
it.
right? And yeah, so
stretched it out.
that's a stretch there.
Ba-dum-bum.
All right, that feels like we should go probably. We'll tuck it out. Some quick plugs for the channel. If you are a fan of Interview with a Vampire, I'm covering that series weekly on the show, and there's a lot of people that love those. Thanks to everybody that's watching those videos. Definitely some of the most watched videos on the channel.
That's interesting.
Doing those every Sunday.
Are you doing this leading up to Lestat?
No, sorry. I meant Vampire Lestat. So I'm covering the new season weekly. It already started.
Gotcha. Okay. All right.
Yeah. That's what I meant. Also, we had an interview with comic creators Ethan Parker and Griffin Sheridan, who are currently doing Supergirl Survives. They're also doing they're gonna do the Horror of Godzilla at IDW. And it was just announced this week, the day before I talked to them, that they're gonna be doing Black Panther, Namor, Doomed, which is one of those Armageddon tie-ins.
Nice.
So we had a whole conversation about that, and go check it out. It's on the channel. Let me see anything else. And if you are one of the people that did not pull rum #1 from your mask blind bags, I pulled one. I read it. I did a review for it, and I'm gonna have to catch up on Void Rivals, and that's all I'm gonna tell you about that.
I'm okay. I have just a weird side thing, which is because I was asking Richard at Zeus about this. If you bought the blind bag expecting mask #1 and you get ROM #1, are you upset you still have to go buy mask #1 because you didn't get it?
Yeah. Oh yeah. Well, so
what is this ROM?
To mitigate that, what I did was I bought a blank cover variant of Mask. So I was like,
nice.
worst case scenario, and it does have the main cover underneath. Which
Wait, how many blind bags did you get before you got to ROM?
3. So on the third one, I got it. Yeah.
Oh, from the same shop, or did you like hop around?
I went to when I was around on this Wednesday, I took the day off because I had to run some errands. That's how I ended up on y'all's side of town. I didn't buy it there, but I did buy it at Titan. I bought another bag, and then I pulled it from there. So Don't ask me how many Marvel 616 bags I bought. Because instead you can go watch the video and watch me pull.
Those were $15 a pop.
Yeah, they were.
Danny's really keeping publishers in business. So
and I didn't get the Peach Momoko one that I wanted, but so I might have to try for one more.
You got a ton of Doom masks.
It seems I do have multiple Doom masks. I do have multiple issues of Doom Quest #1 in black and white. So Josh and I can give Josh and Clay one of these because I have duplicates now.
I do have it, but I have the beautiful cover with like the pink flowers.
Yeah, but this one's in black and white, so they reprinted it in black and white.
All right, I'll
special edition. But
they didn't let that ugly colorist touch all the art.
Yeah. Oh, let's get rid of colors too. Let's just get rid of art and just read books with only words.
Yeah, let's do it that way.
We're gonna work our way back to just regular prose.
God, I've got so many comics to read.
Yeah, same. But and then come back tomorrow. Jeff and I will be talking about comics at some point.
I'm gonna try and join you guys one of these Sundays. I promise.
Yeah, for sure. And if after Supergirl, we could probably do one of the catch up stuff for everybody on a Saturday.
Yeah, sounds good.
So yeah, stay tuned. We got a lot of cool stuff coming to the channel. as always, I'm reaching out to creators. So if you want us to talk to somebody, leave it in the comments so then I can show that creator of the comment and be like, look, our audience wants you to come on the show. It's not me. I don't want to talk to you. It's them. And then on the I read comic book side of things, this last week I got to talk to Zach Kaplan with my buddy Mike, and he told us all about his new books. Only the Savage Are Left, and then the Smart Division that's coming out in August, I believe. Yeah, man, Zach, he's writing so many things. So, but they're very cool. So there you have it. That's all my plugs. Go follow Jeff on TikTok so you can hear him tear down your favorite creative comic book.
Yeah.
Woo. And Josh, Josh doesn't really do a lot of social media, but when he does, especially on Threads, it catches fire. So
I'm not even on Threads anymore. Come find me on Mastodon and Blue Sky. That's it.
Mastodon. I wouldn't even know how to get to you on Mastodon, Josh. I'll tell you that right now.
It's easier than you think. That's all I'll say. So
I'm good. I think I'm good with Blue Sky. That's like,
yeah, it's fine. It's fine. Yeah. I'm on there too.
Well, there you have it. Thank you guys. This was great. I love when we just do like a focus on one book, especially when it's a good book.
Oh yeah.
And it just really worked out. So hopefully we can talk about Supergirl next week. We'll see if we can all manage to go watch the film in a timely manner.
Okay.
But yeah, we'll talk more about the upcoming schedule.
I mean,
and
if
not,
it's no Masters of the Universe, so I haven't bought my ticket for that one yet. But I'll try to get it.
Yeah. But if not, we'll maybe do a catch-up fun show next Saturday and then give everybody a little bit more time. There's too many movies. I finally watched Disclosure Day. We got that out of the way. But
I need to see that. That looks really good.
Yeah. I want to see what's that Raid? It's not the Raid, but it's like
Furious.
the Raid.
The
Furious.
I've heard that's really good.
Yeah. So it's on the list. I need to watch Backrooms.
I need to watch Backrooms as well.
There's too many guys. I can't.
I feel too old to watch Backrooms. It's the first, internet generation memeified movie, and I'm like,
it is interesting. And one of the things I'm curious about is that I don't know the lore behind the YouTube stuff for Backrooms. So like, am I gonna be as excited? It's kind of cool going into it without knowing anything about
I feel like it stands alone, which is smart, right? It's not like
it should
the Babadook or something. So
well, even the Babadook, like I didn't know much about it, and I think the movie's still just quite enjoyable.
That's good. Okay.
Obsession also like a lot of hype. If you haven't seen Obsession,
I've heard that's good. Yeah,
go check it out. It gets kind of gnarly, but it's really, really good. Like I'm like, oh, do more of this, but Hollywood's gonna probably learn the wrong lesson from it anyway. So
just like Marvel.
Well, I got World Cup games to watch because there's gonna be 4 like every day for the next week. So yeah, thank you guys. Thanks everybody for Josh, Jeff. Thank you for joining me and talking about this. This was a lot of fun. And thanks everybody that watched live or leave us a comment afterwards. Let us know what you thought of the book. And if you've seen the movie without any spoilers, you can leave us a comment there about it. Don't worry, I'm the only one that sees those. So I guess you'll spoil one person out of the 3 of us at least. So all right, that'll do it. Thanks everybody. Bye-bye.
The most important thing in life will always be
Hey, Bebo.
I loves you.
Simon Center, get the fuck out.
All right, bye.
Get out of here, you weirdo.